The Alaska summit has ended, and with it the brief illusion that Donald Trump could extract a ceasefire from Putin in a single day. The optics were striking: a red carpet, the military flyovers, we did this to Iran, what could we do to you, and even a ride together in Trump's armoured limousine. Putin left smiling, rehabilitated on the world stage, while Trump returned to Washington empty-handed. For Ukraine, the result was double-edged. On the one hand, the nightmare scenario, a secret carve-up of its territory, did not materialise. On the other, no ceasefire was secured, no sanctions imposed, no real progress announced. The war rages on, even as the summit has unfolded. 85 drones were launched at Ukrainian cities while the two leaders exchanged warm words in Anchorage. European leaders were aghast. German security officials described the event as 1-0 to Putin. In Kyiv, the image of American soldiers kneeling at the bottom of Putin's staircase to his plane went viral, a humiliation for the West. Ukrainian activists spoke of feeling abandoned. Matvichuk, the Nobel Peace Prize laureate, warned that the human dimension of the war, tens of thousands of detained civilians and abducted children, had been entirely absent from Trump's performance, even if it was contained partially in a letter from Melania. Trump, however, insists he'd made great progress. He now speaks of bypassing a ceasefire altogether and heading straight for a peace agreement. The logic is seductive in its simplicity, but dangerously vague. What would such a peace entail? For Trump, it seems to mean territorial swaps, a phrase he's used repeatedly. For Zelensky, it means security guarantees, not words, not photo ops, but enforceable deterrence against Russia striking again. And so attention shifts to Washington. On Monday, President Zelensky will walk into the Oval Office, the same room where in February he was thrown out after a row with Trump over mineral rights. This time he arrives in a weaker position militarily, but with stronger European backing. European leaders joined Trump and Zelensky on their post-summit call, then immediately convened a second call without Trump. A warning sign of waning trust in the American president. The stakes of Monday's meeting are enormous. Zelensky must hold the line that Ukraine will not cede land to its occupier. He must push for binding US and European security guarantees, and he must insist that any peace agreement includes the return of deported children, prisoners of war, and occupied territory. Otherwise, the word peace risks becoming a euphemism for capitulation. Trump, meanwhile, faces pressure at home. Republicans like Lindsey Graham want a ceasefire before Christmas, while Democrats accuse him of giving red carpet legitimacy to a war criminal. His boast that it's really up to President Zelensky to get it done signals a retreat from the strongman posture he once promised. The Alaska summit may have been a spectacle of pomp, but Washington will be the true test. Can Trump, Zelensky, and eventually Putin move from theatre to substance? Or will Monday reveal that the longest 24 hours in history, Trump's old promise to end the war in one day, still has no end in sight?